Hey there, welcome to This Explainer. Today, I'm going to step into the role of your personal financial coach. We're tackling something that so many of us deal with, but, we rarely talk about it openly. We're going to figure out how to finally escape that underlying anxiety that just seems to follow your money everywhere. All right, let's jump right in. So tell me if this sounds familiar. Have you ever opened your banking app and instantly felt your stomach just drop? Your heart beats a little faster. Or maybe you literally just avoid checking the balance altogether, keeping one eye closed, hoping the number won't ruin your day, or praying that a pending charge doesn't clear until Friday. And look, here's the really frustrating part, especially for young professionals. You work hard. You earn a decent hard-earned income. You pay your bills. But somehow that baseline stress, it's just always there. You keep telling yourself that next month is going to be better, but the anxiety just sticks around. If that hit a little too close to home, I need you to hear this loud and clear. You are not bad with money. I want to emphasize this right out of the gate because honestly, avoiding the balance and feeling stressed out is a trap I used to fall right into myself. It's not because you lack math skills, and it is definitely not because you're fundamentally irresponsible. The problem isn't your capability. The real issue here isn't math. The real issue is that you're just unconscious with your money. You're living on financial autopilot. Think about it. Every single month feels exactly the same, right? Money comes in, and then money just quietly disappears. It vanishes through these tiny daily conveniences. A coffee here, a quick online order there, and don't even get me started on those monthly subscriptions you completely forgot existed. That premium streaming service you haven't opened in 6 months? You think you know where your money goes, but you're actually flying completely blind. For me, the absolute wake-up call happened when a friend challenged me to track every single expense for just 1 month. And what I discovered was staggering. Nearly 40% of my spending was entirely unconscious. Almost half of my hard-earned income was just slipping away completely under the radar. That is a massive hidden leak. Section 1. Uncovering emotional spending. The hidden leaks in your budget. So, we really need to diagnose the psychological root cause of this unconscious spending. Let's map out the cycle. You feel stressed at work. So what's the action? Online shopping. The result, a temporary high. Or maybe you're feeling totally exhausted, so you order expensive food delivery for some quick relief. Sometimes you feel a bit insecure scrolling through social media, so you buy something just to impress people. But the absolute crucial point here is this. Trying to fix temporary emotions with purchases only guarantees one thing, and that's the long-term, permanent return of your anxiety. And, wow, this leads us right into a trap that so many of us fall into as we move up in our careers. Lifestyle inflation. You might be thinking, hey, if I just get that promotion, if I just earn a little more money, this stress is finally going to go away. But actually, simply earning more money won't fix the root issue. Without awareness, a higher income literally just leads to more expensive emotional spending traps. You just end up buying pricier things to cope with the exact same stress, and your anxiety just scales right up with your salary. Moving on to Section 2. Discipline equals freedom. Shifting your mindset. Okay, so here is the prescription for all that anxiety. We have to completely flip how we view financial rules. Financial discipline is all about clarity and intentionality. It's making decisions that align with your future instead of your temporary emotions. We've got to stop viewing discipline as a punishment. It's not about living a boring life without any fun, and it's definitely not about just saying no to life. Instead, it's actually the ultimate tool for achieving mental clarity. It's about taking the wheel and giving every single dollar a real purpose. So how do we actually pull off this shift? Well, I want you to focus on just 3 steps. 1, track every expense. 2, save before spending. And 3, build an emergency fund. These are the exact tiny compounding habits you need to kickstart this massive transformation. Notice how it's not some super complicated spreadsheet or an overwhelming math formula. It's just simple awareness and intention built up through really small daily actions. Let's zoom in on step 2 for a second, treating your savings like a non-negotiable bill. This is absolutely crucial. Most people make the huge mistake of trying to save whatever happens to be left over at the end of the month. But let's be real, usually nothing is left, right? By treating savings as a fixed bill, you are paying your future self first. And honestly, even if the amount is tiny, the consistency of this habit matters so much more than the intensity. And that leads directly into step 3, the emergency fund effect. Even a tiny emergency fund will completely transform your psychology. It creates this amazing safety net, so an unexpected expense isn't an instant disaster. It removes that survival mode panic, and honestly, most importantly, it gives your brain the space to actually think long term. You can finally take a deep breath and stop living in this constant fear of what might break next. Section 3. The true meaning of wealth. Reclaiming your peace. Now, we really need to look at how these habits completely change what it actually means to be successful. See, the old mindset is all about looking wealthy, buying things just to keep up appearances and impress people on social media. It's a dangerous, exhausting trap, mostly because you never truly know someone else's financial reality behind their perfectly curated posts. But the new mindset, that's about being wealthy. It's having the actual freedom to say no. True wealth isn't about looking the part to others, it's about having real, genuine stability and inner peace for yourself. And that inner peace? It creates a massive ripple effect of discipline. Think about it. When you stop worrying about money at 2 a.m., your sleep improves and your anxiety drops. That mental clarity naturally spreads like wildfire. The exact same discipline you use to track your budget acts like a muscle, and it strengthens every other area of your life. You start making better health choices, your career focus sharpens up because you aren't stuck in survival mode anymore, and even your relationships become so much more intentional. Now, if you take absolutely nothing else away from this explainer, please remember this. Progress matters way more than perfection. Do not sit around waiting for the perfect moment to start organizing your money because let me tell you, that perfect moment simply never arrives. And hey, if you make a mistake and overspend one weekend, don't beat yourself up or throw in the towel. A lot of bad financial decisions stem from emotional pain or stress anyway. Real growth begins with awareness, not shame. So to help you build that daily awareness, I want to give you this incredibly powerful, actionable question to just keep in your back pocket. Does this purchase align with my real values? Seriously, make this your mental pause button. Before you hit buy now or tap your card at the register, just ask yourself this one simple question. It instantly disconnects that temporary emotional trigger from the action, giving you back your conscious control. So what this all boils down to is this. Real wealth is measured by freedom. Financial discipline didn't just change the numbers in a bank account, and it won't just change yours. It literally gives you back your emotional peace. It gives you the freedom to make decisions calmly, the freedom to survive emergencies without a panic attack, and ultimately, it gives you back total control over your own life. Which brings us to our final question for this explainer. Are you ready to start telling your money where to go instead of always wondering where it went? You don't have to change everything overnight. Just start small today. Track your spending, build that awareness, and spend intentionally. Because tiny changes repeated consistently will completely transform your future. Your emotional peace is waiting. Let's go get it.